617-708-3290. One thing you did mention, the Mass Bar Association, the MBA Mass Bar Association, which is, I'm guessing is about 17 to 20,000 members, and they always partner with us when it comes to issues of concern, which I think, you know, in here you're talking about the educational aspects, being on panels to educate other members of the bar as to our issues, but we partner with them on many issues.
I should also say that it's not just the Massachusetts Bar Association. We have been very fortunate to have a strong relationship with both the MBA and the Boston Bar Association. The Boston Bar Association takes great pride in the fact that they provide free meeting space and other services to affinity bars, and we're included in that. So I don't want to leave them out because it's certainly an important partnership to us. In terms of other things that we partner with bar associations on, I think a good example are networking and social events. We have members who have achieved great success and joint members, so members of the MBA who also happen to be members of the LGBTQ Bar Association, and we hold receptions to honor those members. One good example is Judge Angela Ordonez, who was the first Justice of the Norfolk Probate and Family Court. We're partnering with the BBA to host a reception in her honor to recognize her for her promotion to Chief Judge of the Probate and Family Court. We partner with these major bar associations in signing amicus briefs. It's not unusual for those bar associations to turn to us on LGBTQ issues and ask us what our opinion is. And I think that one thing that Rolando and I can say with certainty is that we're very proud to be a voice for the LGBTQ legal community and to help guide major associations and partnerships when it comes to putting forward their best foot and portraying what's best for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, it's extremely important. We do take a leadership role with respect to marshaling all the other bar associations, big and small, on all these issues pertaining to our community. But we also have a legislative front as well.
Right, we do. And so, as you said, that we have a number of different parts of our association. We have a legislative committee, and they monitor key legislation and, or actually legislation that we think will directly impact our community. A couple of years ago, we were very involved in the passage of the what's called the Transgender Equal Rights Bill that was passed here in Massachusetts that really makes it illegal to discriminate in certain areas of against transgender individuals. That wasn't a complete slam dunk. There were certain other additional provisions that were negotiated out of the bill as it made its way through the government, but we are trying to definitely go forward. For example, one of the key aspects that was omitted from the final law was around the term public accommodations. Public accommodations being restaurants, hotels, libraries, that sort of venue that, because they were excluded from the protection part of the law, basically means that these venues can still discriminate against anybody who is transgender. And so we are pushing forward and trying to make sure that that piece is added to this next round of legislation.
Yeah, basically, if you're transgender and you go into a restaurant, they can look at you and say, "I don't want to serve you. Get out."
Right.
And that's it. There's some cities like Boston have an ordinance that already has in effect that you can't do that, but certainly it's not statewide, and that for whatever reason has been a stumbling block.
Right.
But that is very high on the legislative agenda for this year, and marshaling all the other bar associations to go forward with us on that.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to interject that one of the things that I'm most proud of is that we have a very active committee for transgender inclusion within the Gay Bar Association. And specifically, I would say that it's probably one of the largest and most active committees that we have. And it has been instrumental in working on the passage of that legislation, tweaking the legislation that was passed, as well as addressing the issues that we've already discussed in the military, and providing education to the community as a whole, whether it's representing transgender clients or the treatment of transgender youth. That committee has really taken a leadership role and is certainly an active part of this bar association.
Yeah, Alex Coleman has been on this show several times. He is a board member and one of my favorite people. But yes, they're impressive. I mean, it's just impressive how extraordinarily knowledgeable and how hardworking and what they've accomplished is just amazing. And just, the energy level is truly, I'm envious.
It is, yes.
Exactly.
So,
right. Another part of their education that CTI, the Committee on Transgender Inclusion, has done is actually how to comply with this new transgender equal rights bill, right? So having seminars with employers who, now, have to comply with this new law, and trying to understand what the law is, and then what they need to do to change their own policies if they had not already changed the policy to protect transgender individuals.
and that's an important point, I think, because I think people hear these laws and they hear them go into effect and they have opinions about what's the government doing to me. And here they're not doing anything. They're just trying to make the society a better place for everybody. And these panels go in there and they talk to people and say, this is what the law means. This is how it affects your business. And quite frankly, you're going to see a happier workplace and better business. Most people, at the end of the day, most people want to treat other people with respect. They just want to know how you go about doing it. And that's all this is. And it's great. And they do a wonderful job doing that. So, all right, you guys are the new co-chairs. Any particular goals or aspirations for the LGBTQ Bar Association for the coming year?
Well, one of the goals is, every year is to, boost our membership. We have, we have a lot of members, but certainly we are active through the numbers of our people in our association, and so that's one of the things that we always emphasize.
Yes, there's strength in numbers, and we're always around 200 plus, and we always have 300 or 400 at the annual dinner.
We typically have around 400 people at our annual dinner, and in terms of goals, I think that while we have very virtuous goals that include, continued active participation and drafting of opinions and proposals from the task force that Rolando already mentioned, I think that we also have, fun goals in mind. That we want our annual dinner to have full participation of our membership. Close to 400 people rivals any other bar association's dinner in Boston. It's a very large event for us. Next month, we have the law student reception, which is arguably the largest law student reception held by a bar association in this state. So we hope that goes off without a hitch, and that we continue to have the participation by students, which are a very strong part of our organization, as well as by mentors. So I would like to see those events go off. The receptions that we're co-hosting, the happy hours that we have every month. I would like for people to feel like they have an outlet, because that's a big part of our bar association.
It is. There's strength in numbers, there's networking, and we're all in this together at the end of the day.
That's right.
Right.
So thank you very much.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. So there you have it, the co-chairs of the Massachusetts LGBTQ Bar Association. You see why this is such a wonderful organization and why we do such things like this show, Legal Lines. And as you know, my name is Tim Lynch. I'm your host on Legal Lines, brought to you live the third Wednesday of every month. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good day.
Thank you.